Ya, oke. Terima kasih. Sayang sekali ya, Mr. Robertnya tidak bisa hadir di tengah-tengah kita secara langsung, padahal saya banyak mau ngomong sama Mr. Robert sebenarnya. Oke, baik. Selanjutnya kita bisa lanjutkan kepada presentasi dari Mr. Sandor Bali. How are you today?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, hello. How are you
Hello. Good
today?
to be here. Oh, good. Oh, good. We're having a nice weather. Not too hot. Not too humid. Just nice in Singapore.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay, this is the second time we met, I guess, when you came to PDW.
yeah. Once then, yeah.
Yeah. So you still remember me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Sander, the time is yours, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, let me just share my screen and let's see. Okay. Okay. You see this now?
Okay.
Okay, so today I would like to show you a little bit about our collaboration solutions, and I'm not particularly trying to mention any software. You will see later Archicad 24 and some highlights of the tools, and of course I will also mention a few of those things. But all in all, what I would like to show you is more comprehensively what we can offer you as a collaboration solution. Um, Basically, what is our goal when we talk about these collaborations? We want to make sure that you work on the projects at the same time. You can share all the materials that are related to the project. You can also do this in the cloud, so it makes it enables you to work in any locations, even from home, even from the office. And you can do it on your own, the setup, if you want. But we also give you the opportunity to have it as an IT less a zero IT subscription plan as well. So I think these are all very interesting parts one by one. But let's see just a few highlights what we actually mean in details. When it comes to our collaboration solutions, there are actually many use cases. So these are actually real clients which cases are mentioned here. So for example, volume builder with growing amount of projects from Australia. So in that case, what they need is that they have an increasing amount of projects, so they need to have storage and they need to handle the increasing load. Then there is, for example, a designer firm which has multiple offices. So they have different teams in different locations, which has its own challenges. How they can coordinate and communicate between the teams, how they access the projects. Or for example, there can be a large construction firm that has like thousands of users. This is particularly a Japanese one. And it's 1,000 users to manage. That's a huge task. So you need to have permissions and advanced management settings. Then there's also this example from Mexico, a department store developer who needs to communicate with the building site. So they have to be in constant touch with the Archicad people and the non-Archicad people. They have to work together. These are the very typical use cases that we can think of when it comes to collaboration, except that there's a totally new one this year as well, and that's the work from home. And we have introduced one solution for this. Basically, what we wanted to achieve is that all those existing solutions where we had all the customizable solutions for all those who are aware of the IT, who know how IT works, we keep those solutions, but we also have a solution where you don't have to deal with the IT. So of course, our solution, you probably have heard of it, it's called Bimcloud. That's our teamwork platform. And right now, I think I already have too many things on this slide. Basically, what is important is that that you can create the model with Archicad, and you can visualize the model and show it to your clients, or just access it through your mobiles with BIMX. These are the very common things which we all know that are on the end user side. And in the office, or where you have your servers, Then you have this Bimcloud Manager, Bimcloud Server, Delta Cache. All of them know their own tasks. They have an important role in the ecosystem, but this is actually boring, and probably not many of you want to deal with this. Like all the setup, nobody wants to do this actually. So we introduce a new solution, which is the Bimcloud as a service, which means that you do not have to deal with the server side setup and the IT at all. So besides this, if I just refer back to our BIMX, okay, our BIMX app, that is also expanded with these Bimcloud access. Normally, these are the features that you can have in the BIMX. Basically, it is a presentation tool. You can show the 2D in context of the 3D. You don't have to take paper to your building site. All these things, I think most of you already know. But if you just take a look at from a collaboration solution perspective, then actually there's a lot more in BIMX. If you have the Bimcloud access, then it means that automatically you get the pro features in BIMX as well. I think the most important ones are messaging and markups, the communications. But I'm pretty sure that anyone can find something that you like from this list. Just to show them in action. So this is generic access to model data. What Bence mentioned in his presentation, that the rising need for information is there. So basically, you can access this information. You can do small measurements, smart measurements, or like in the building site, you can right away use these values and use them in your communication, which is just here like a markup, so that you can create these messages and send back to the teamwork users. And besides this, the base function, what we love BIMX for the most, is that you can have the 2D and the 3D in context with each other. So, but this is the mobile access. Let's just go back to these use cases, and let me elaborate a little bit more on the Bimcloud itself. So the brand new use case was inspired because of this mission. Is that business continuity matters. So it's very important that the show must go on. So when you have the pandemic, you still have to deliver. And basically, this is why we introduced this solution. And actually, Graphisoft was the first among the vendors, the major vendors, who offered a solution which is targeting small and medium companies and enterprises as well. So basically, all sizes can make use of this. Basically, when the work from home situation came up, we were facing these at least these three challenges. The working locations changed, so we had to make sure that we can access our work from anywhere. At the same time, if let's say it's a small company, we have no IT department, we have no IT budget, right? So how can we still have access to our data? But even if we are a large company, let's say, then probably in the pandemic there were some restrictions on the IT investment, so there was not much to invest more. And besides this, also flexible licensing was required, because we have to work with different people in different situations, so we have to distribute the licenses as different. And basically, what happened? This was where we started from. I think most of you know this. Those who work with Archicad Teamwork use Bimcloud Basic. In that case, you can have the Bimcloud, a server and the manager component in your office. It's probably installed on one computer. You have the web browser to access it, and you have the office users to work on it. Basically, this has changed. And when now we are working from home, how do we access this data from outside? Well, we can use VPN, for example. That provides us a safe tunnel in between the points, but it takes time to set it up, and it takes resources. So what we did is that we moved the server and the manager to the cloud. You don't even have to deal with it. It can be easily scaled. Actually, it's automatically scaling. So you just have to take care of connecting to it from one office or another office. Okay, you can have these two options as well, which are the Bimcloud main features for larger companies. But basically, all what you need to take care of is just to connect it from different locations, even from home or from the building site as well. So everything you see in the cloud, we take care of that, and you don't have to deal with that if you choose Bimcloud as a service. Basically, there are a lot of features in Bimcloud which are only available in this service version. So, but it's not available in the basic version. And most of these focus on for you to have a better control of your resources and the projects, and you can manage them easily. Just to show you a few things. Okay, so for example, scalability. Remember, I mentioned the Australian client who needs more and more resources because there's more and more data to be hosted. This one is taken care of when it comes to the full Bimcloud, because you can add more resources easily, and even in the Bimcloud as a service, the resources are automatically scaled for you. You can have detailed permission. So if you have a large company, you can easily set up who has access to what. In the Bimcloud Basic, we have a very high trust setup. Basically, most of the users can see everything. Or if you don't want users to see or access something, then it is only doable on a small scale because it needs a manual setup. Data safety. Like external backups are created with the Bimcloud, which is really important because if data loss happens, then everything is gone, right? So all these external backups, IT departments do these on their own mostly, but if you're using Bimcloud, then we also take care of that for you. When it comes to these new setups, okay, now we're working with a lot of external teams, and with the Bimcloud as a service, we also enable teams to work on your project. So besides the user management, you can create different teams which are related to certain projects. So there's an MEP team, structural team. You can have give access to the client as a viewer, for example. And basically, you can better organize your team and resources when it comes to the projects. Okay, there's the file sharing functionality. Basically, when it comes to sharing files and content, without Bimcloud, what happens? The architect is in the center of everything, and all the files, all the exchange, it goes through the architect, and they do the coordination. It's a huge task to manage on its own. With Bimcloud, actually, we can share all files onto Bimcloud, and everyone can have access to this. And actually, this is not just a regular file format, but basically almost all kinds of file formats, documents, pictures, Excel sheets, models, images, videos, basically anything you will need for a project. Tracking changes. This is very important because you want to know what happened in the project, and you want to know what people are doing in the project. So you can subscribe to changes, and you can follow up those changes, and you will get notified if something is changing. Okay, there is a model compare function. So when you do these changes, you can visually compare what happened in your model and accept the changes or just refuse those changes. File history and versioning. Basically, this is a real-time machine, actually, that we're giving you now with Bimcloud. You can always go back to a previous version, and not just for the projects, like in Bimcloud Basic, but for all files that you have shared onto the Bimcloud. Licensing-wise, actually, this is a very flexible one. So because it's a subscription, it means that you can opt in any time, and you get true floating licenses. This has been, for at least in this year, this has been a big question in the industry, that some vendors are providing named licenses. We want to give you the freedom, so you just have a pool of licenses, and only those use those licenses who really need it. When it comes to these subscriptions, we have the plans for 1 month, 6 month, or like a yearly subscription plan, and actually these vary in their prices, and they are totally different from the ArchiCAD licenses, so you can manage these completely separate. Actually, I just want to show you this, just a price comparison. If you can choose a monthly subscription and you can choose a yearly subscription, and if you just focus on the right side of the picture, the Bimcloud as a service, right now, so it's 9.4 million rupees approximately. I just did the conversion from euros because we have the prices originally in euros. But actually, even now, okay, we have a promotion until the end of the year. It's 6.3 million actually. And I know if you compare it, then you can say that, okay, but this Bimcloud as a service is more expensive than the Bimcloud when you do the setup for your own, or obviously it is more expensive than the Bimcloud Basic, which is completely free. Well, until now you could see what are those features and what are the solutions which make Bimcloud and Bimcloud as a service stand out compared to the Basic. But what is justifying also the price difference? I just want to show you this. If you do the setup and the IT investments all by yourself, then basically you can see a list of all those things that you need to do to set up Bimcloud Basic, to do the Bimcloud on premises, and even the Bimcloud on a cloud platform. You can do that. I haven't mentioned that in the previous part, so let's just skip that. But basically, what you can see is that for the Bimcloud SaaS, the Bimcloud as a service, almost none of these costs are there. You just have to buy the ArchiCAD license and subscribe to Bimcloud as a service, and everything is taken care of for you. So that is the huge advantage of Bimcloud as a service. Basically, just one good thing here, that even now during this webinar, if you sign up, you can have the whole system set up for you in 15 minutes. So I think it's pretty much the fastest installation that you can ever get. And I really would like to recommend you, okay, you can now use your phones, use the QR code, and basically right now you can visit our website, the workfromhome.graphisoft.com, where you can sign up to Bimcloud as a service. Again, even if you're a small company or a big company, you can right away just take a quick look at it, and I think it's a really good deal, and it will ease everyone's work, especially in this pandemic situation, because as you know, it's not going to go away, unfortunately, for a while. So we need to be ready to make sure that the business continuity is there and that we can deliver. As for now, I would like to stop here and hand it over to Rudy Hayashi, my colleague at ApplyCAD, who's going to show you a little bit about the ArchiCAD features, ArchiCAD itself. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Sander. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna show my screen to everyone. Bisa didengar ya suara saya ya?
Bisa,
Bapak
bisa.
Ibu? Oke, terima kasih Pak Bima dan teman-teman. Oke, saya akan langsung saja untuk memperlihatkan apa saja yang ada di fitur-fitur terbaru yang di versi 24 ini. Mungkin saya oh ya, sebentar. Ada bagian yang harus saya close terlebih dahulu. Ya, sudah ya. Saya akan langsung saja untuk memulai rekaman video ini. Jadi di ArchiCAD 24 ini lebih memfokuskan kepada perubahan di tambahan fitur di 4 aspek ini, yaitu change management, project management, structural analysis workflow, lalu juga ada client representation, yaitu yang client presentation yaitu namanya BIMX. Untuk sebelumnya teman-teman bisa mendengar jelas ya suara saya karena saya sembari memakai masker di sini. Terdengar jelas ya? Oke, baik. Saya akan langsung saja di model comparison ini. Model comparison di mana Anda bisa mengatur perubahan yang permintaan dari klien ya, supaya progres pekerjaan teman-teman lebih cepat. Jadi Anda sebagai team leader bisa memvalidasi perubahan yang ada, dan Anda juga bisa menampilkan apa saja yang ingin ditampilkan, jadi bisa difilter seperti itu. Dan ini adalah objek furniture yang baru di versi 24 ini, jadi Anda tidak perlu lagi mendownload dari library yang ada di luar. Biasanya kita selalu memasukkan dari 3D Warehouse ya, dan di sini sudah disediakan. Dan juga dari Revit family. Dari Revit pun Anda tidak perlu lagi menggunakan perantara, jadi Anda bisa langsung saja mengimport masuk ke ArchiCAD. Jadi lebih mudah tanpa harus menggunakan HFC seperti itu. Dan ini adalah Paramo. Untuk Paramo ini, mungkin teman-teman yang sudah menggunakan di versi sebelumnya, itu kita biasanya selalu menggunakan Rhino dan Grasshopper untuk membuat bentuk-bentuk yang parametrik ya, seperti itu. Lalu dengan ada ini kita tidak perlu lagi, jadi sudah input di ArchiCAD-nya. Jadi saya mengambil contoh dari sebuah meja ini, Anda bisa memasukkan saja, bisa mengcustom furniture atau objek yang Anda inginkan. Selain furniture, Anda juga bisa membuat model fasad bangunan lebih fleksibel. Anda tinggal memasukkan angka-angka saja yang Anda inginkan, seperti itu. Dan juga untuk MEP modeler juga sudah include. Jadi teman-teman yang baru saja melakukan pengadaan di versi 23 dan mendapatkan free update, dan juga yang baru saja menggunakan versi 24, ini sudah include ya teman-teman. Tinggal kita menggambar saja library-nya, MEP-nya, seperti itu. Anda bisa mendapatkan gambar 2 dimensi, dan selain itu juga 3 dimensi. Sehingga Anda mendapatkan visual misalnya terjadi tabrakan. Dan berikutnya ada dark mode. Maaf, bukan dark mode yang ini, tapi yang ini. Anda bisa menggambar. Teman-teman yang memiliki visual yang kurang baik, oke, Anda bisa mengubah tampilannya menjadi lebih gelap, sehingga lebih enak dilihat, seperti itu. Tidak terlalu silau. Lalu berikutnya polyline editing. Yang versi sebelumnya Anda tidak bisa mengcustom polyline seperti fillet, chamfer, offset. Sekarang di versi 24 Anda sudah bisa melakukannya. Lalu issue management sekarang sudah bisa Anda gunakan di teamwork. Jadi misalkan ada isu seperti salah satu elemen komponen ya, Anda tinggal masukkan saja, tambahkan, seperti itu. Yang Anda lihat di video ini, app nanti akan muncul juga di issue manager, nanti bisa dilihat oleh teman-teman yang ada di teamwork. Untuk BIMX juga sekarang teman-teman bisa memasukkan model dengan ukuran yang jauh lebih besar, karena di versi sebelumnya mungkin lebih kecil ya ukuran yang bisa dimasukkan, dan ketika membuka pun tidak perlu loading lagi, jadi seperti ya no time gitu ya. Dan juga teman-teman bisa mengukur jarak dari poin 1 ke poin 2. Smart measure available for free. Dan ada banyak lagi kelebihan-kelebihan yang ada di BIMX terbarunya ini. Dan juga setelah ini, oke, saya akan skip. Nah, dokumentasi sekarang, mungkin teman-teman yang sudah tahu Python, untuk Python ini, di mana teman-teman bisa memasukkan otomatis ya untuk scripting. Jadi seperti Anda lihat contoh yang ada di nama ID furniture ini, yang tadinya biasanya kita memasukkan secara manual. Dengan ada scripting ini, penamaan pada furniture ini bisa berubah secara otomatis. dengan ada scripting yang teman-teman sudah buat. New Residential Furniture Library, bring your interest to life. Nah, akan saya perlihatkan juga langsung untuk library yang ada. Jadi pertama kita akan lihat di bagian tools sebelah kirinya. Sekarang ada tambahan untuk equipment. Yang dimana equipment ini, teman-teman bisa masukkan library yang seperti MEP, contoh seperti pompa dan sebagainya. Dan juga teman-teman bisa mengatur connection-nya. Selain itu juga ada banyak sekali library untuk pompa, seperti yang teman-teman lihat ini. Kita tinggal menarik saja connection-nya, lalu kita sambungkan. Lalu saya akan masuk ke MEP Engineering. Kita tinggal membuat routing-nya saja. Tinggal kita start. Dan ducting ini bisa kita atur nanti ukurannya sesuai dengan yang teman-teman inginkan, dan juga bentuknya ada yang kotak dan juga ada yang bulat spiral seperti ini. Oke. Selain itu juga kita bisa membuat bentuk yang fleksibel seperti yang teman-teman lihat. Lalu untuk posisi vertikal ke atas, hingga untuk yang memiliki kemiringan tertentu bisa kita masukkan. Lalu berikutnya untuk furniture, teman-teman bisa juga memasukkan objek yang mungkin sebelumnya teman-teman belum lihat ya, seperti kursi Skandinavian, ada pilihannya untuk furniture yang seperti kursi yang model Ottoman ini, pilihan untuk kakinya ya, bisa kita atur juga. Selain kursi juga nantinya teman-teman bisa mengatur untuk tempat tidur. Jadi kita bisa melihat dari sini kita bisa mendapatkan objek furniture yang tidak terlalu kaku ya, karena di versi sebelumnya terlihat sangat kaku, dan di sini kita bisa memakainya untuk kebutuhan furniture. Lalu saya akan skip lagi ke berikutnya. Nah, seperti ini untuk tempat tidur yang ada kanopinya, teman-teman bisa mengatur juga untuk kanopinya itu, seperti gorden itu, seberapa besar yang tertutup. Nah, seperti ini yang teman-teman bisa lihat di contohnya. Hingga untuk naik stand, untuk nakas tempat tidur, untuk sofa juga teman-teman bisa melihat jauh lebih modern, lebih minimalis, hingga untuk selimut ya. Untuk selimut ini teman-teman bisa melihat. Kita bisa tinggal meletakkan saja, karena di versi sebelumnya pasti teman-teman tahu ya, belum tersedia untuk yang selimut ini. Jadi biasanya kita harus menggunakan dari objek dari luar. Seperti ini. Ya. Mungkin karena waktu terbatas sudah sangat mepet, saya akan langsung saja dilanjutkan oleh rekan saya lagi, oleh Mr. Sander. Oke, Sander, I think my part is over. I can pass it to you.
All right, let me share the screen again.
Sure. Oke, mungkin itu semua ya Pak Bima dan teman-teman dari saya, akan dilanjutkan oleh rekan saya, Mr. Sander. You can continue.
Okay, you see.
Continue.
Okay, you see the new topic, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So basically now I would like to show you a few things which were actually mentioned in this previous presentation, that I just want to go into a little bit more details because they can really enhance our workflows. So one of those is automating our workflows, and the other one will be object creation. Let's see the first one. Okay. So basically, we have our application programming interface available for developers who can develop basically any kind of third-party solution. Why we do this is because every now and then, especially in localized and local markets, there are the needs for custom solutions. And currently we have, or at least until now, we had the C++ API, which is a quite good one because it has complete access to ArchiCAD features. It has a lot of well-tested working modules from the past, and basically you can create almost anything, and everything that you create is going to be a native way of doing things. But the problem is that C++ is not an easy language to learn. So basically you need to have a developer who can do the job for you. And even for the developers, there is a two-step barrier that it's not enough for them just to know C++, but they also need to know how ArchiCAD works in the background. So all in all, it's not an easy way to go. So because of that, we wanted to come up with a new solution. Okay, just got stuck a little bit. Okay, so we want to come up with a new solution, but before that, just to show you here one example from one of our largest customer, IDEA in Philippines. Basically, they created their own solution for automating their documentation. So this one is creating the documentation set based on the drawings that they create, and all those hundreds and thousands of layouts that they need to create is basically automatically created because it's the add-on is placing the drawings onto these layouts and does the publishing as well. It takes like almost a day or something like that because there's a huge documentation set. But basically, they want to spare the manual work on all these things. So taking this or having this in mind, basically what we wanted to come up with. Okay, again, sorry, my slides are a bit stuck. So, okay, so we wanted to come up, we wanted to come up with an API that is easier to use, and actually we chose Python because that is one of the emerging coding languages, and it's getting more and more popular in the recent years. And basically, with the modern API and modern access to all these ArchiCAD functions, we want to make sure that this easy-to-use language can access the data management. You can use it for changing your model. You can automatize the documentation and the publishing as well. And actually, an API should not only be used for one tool only, but it should be a base for all those connections that we already have with Rhino and Grasshopper, Solibri as well, and later on for data management with Excel and Access, and many other as well. So basically, these are the goals what we want to achieve and how we want to replace the existing C++ API. The first step using this new API is actually the Python API. So what this means is we can run Python scripts from ArchiCAD, and we can automatize our work. Let me show you an example here, or actually 3 examples here. So you can see that there's a Python palette available. There are the scripts listed there. And for example, here in the model, I have an office building. I have placed the zones, and I would like to renumber my zones. And this zone renumbering has a certain logic, which is a zigzag. You will see on the floor plan it's indicated. So I would like to start in the corner and increase the numbering at the end of the other corner. It's basically doable manually, right? But it's very time consuming, and it's really need a human interaction, and there's a risk of errors as well. So let's just select these zones and basically select the script and run the script. Choose a starting point and basically in a few seconds you will see that the renumbering is going to happen. In the background, actually, there is a graphic override applied in this view, so you will see with gradients how the numbers are actually growing. Okay, so you can see that the brighter ones are lower numbered, and you can see also in the plan is refreshing, starting from 1, going in the zigzag, following the zigzag, going to 18. So it's around like 160 zones renumbered. So I think it's pretty good, and basically it can the Python script can be customized to any logic. So, but this is one thing. Let's see another one. In our layouts, okay, for example, here you can see that there is not much as layouts what we have here. We can create those layouts one by one manually, but if we have hundreds and thousands of layouts, then it's a time-consuming thing, especially because in many cases these layouts have a certain ID, certain naming convention that's like an expression, like a code. And we can use Excel, for example. In this case, I have an Excel sheet here where you can see all the details of my layout book. I have the subsets, the folder names, the folder IDs, the name of the layouts. I even have the master layouts, the templates that are assigned to the layouts. So let's use this as a base, run the script, and in a few seconds, all my layouts are created following that particular naming logic that I defined in Excel. It's pretty brilliant, I would say. It's saving a huge amount of time and effort. And of course, now the job is just halfway done because we don't have the views placed there. As you can see with IDEA, now we can also do something similar with the Python API. In the Excel sheet, actually, the views were also placed. So like there you can see which views should be placed on which layouts. So just using this Excel sheet again as a base of our script, if we run the script, then it will start placing the views from the view map onto my ArchiCAD layouts. It takes some time, obviously. It's actually, once it starts, it's relatively fast. It's quite fast. It's 1.2 seconds a view, approximately. And basically, this is a huge opportunity. Now, the drawings are placed based on the logic of the master layout. So, like in case of one drawing is the center of the drawing, but you can set other logic as well. Let's say the detailed drawings should follow a certain different type of logic because those should be smaller drawings on the layouts. But you can see now, like in the foreground, you didn't see that it was happening, but you can see in the background it placed all the layouts. So I think it's a brilliant thing because later on, if you update the Excel sheet, you can update your ArchiCAD layout, and again, you highly reduce the risk of errors. So I hope you like it. I think this one gives us a huge opportunity for automating our workflows. And there we have the other tool that I would like to show you, which is called Paramo. As for now, this is a technical preview of the add-on. It's already available on Graphisoft portal. But basically, what is this thing? We have all kinds of objects in our ArchiCAD library. Our users like them, but again, there's always a need for localization and some customization. And at this point, basically, we always face some issues. So how can we create objects today? We can use GDL coding. So again, that's more for those who are having the developer mindset. Basically, with this one, you can achieve anything, but you need to know coding. Besides this, you can use Rhino and Grasshopper, which is really good because you again have no limitations in the shapes. You can do analytics as well with the Rhino add-ins as well. But basically, if you want to edit your object later on, you need to use the live connection, and it's not really a parametric object once it is in ArchiCAD. And besides that, there's a third option that you can model anything and using the basic tools, and then you can save that element as an object. Basically, that's very easy because anyone can do this, but it has also limitations in the representation 2D parts. And basically, again, these will be static objects, and you cannot have parametricity in those. So it was always like it's been a request for a few years, maybe, that that we should be giving some tool for you to be able to create elements that you could do with GDL, but without the coding skills. So let me show you Paramo. So how that one works. I'll just stop sharing this, and I'll share my ArchiCAD screen. Okay, give me a second. Okay, I just want to show you this live on a simple example, that tower like example that you could see in the slides. So basically now in ArchiCAD we have this so-called Paramo manager. Okay, and in this one you can have all these custom created objects listed. Right now we don't have anything, so let's just create a new one. It has this window where you can see all those nodes that are currently available. These are basically the parameters of your object. So let's say I'm just going to change the height in general, and I'm also going to place this. And this is now a node where I can change the parametricity of my element. Okay, let's create something else as well. Okay, I'm going to place this one, a new node, and in this node I can define what this is going to do. Okay, so like this one is going to be the height of the disks that I'm going to create, and basically I can change the values and the steps. So let's say this is going to be like 20 centimeters. Okay, disk height, and I'm also going to define how many disks I want. Okay, so this is going to be the disk count. Okay, and maybe I'm going to have 20 of these disks. Okay, let's say I want to create a cylinder. You can see the preview here, and this should have the height, the total height of the cylinder should be something like this. All right, so pretty easy so far. But let's just move on. Okay, I would like to create these small cylinders as well, which should be distributed all the way. Now I don't see the small one because the big one is covering it. Okay, so I'm just going to go and hide this for a second. Okay, so you can see this is the small cylinder there. But as I mentioned, I would like to have a distribution. So I can look up the function here, or if I'm already familiar with, then I can just double click, okay, and type here as well. So I would like to distribute the disks, okay, but actually I just have to do a small subtraction as well, because I don't want the last one to be sticking out of the whole thing. Okay, so I will just subtract the height of the disk, and that end result. This is where this is what I'm going to use for the distribution, and basically this only needs now a move, right? So I need to, once I have the distribution, I need to move these. So I'm going to use a move. And I'm going to use also, like, I want to have the 20 pieces, and I want to move them in the vertical direction, and this should drive my cylinder, right? So I just moved these 20 pieces, but let's add some fun into this, because I would like to create that you can see that there it was like a wavy thing. So basically, this one I would want to create here. Okay, again the number of the disks 20 times. Okay, and I would like to move them in the other direction. Okay, it's not wavy yet, right? But you can see that now it's moving vertically and into the one of the horizontal directions as well. And here, to get this wave, we're just going to use a sign. Okay, so basically this variable should be in the middle. Okay, you can see that it's not waving yet. Basically, those who know visual programming, okay, you know that in this series we just have to change this, and then it is going to be there. Okay, and then for this node, I'm also going to change this back to true. Okay, so you see that now I have this this object. I can create some more parameters. Okay, so if I would like to create, like to control the sizes here, just use a length variable here. So basically, the size of these bottom should be bigger ones. And then let's say if I would like to define the materials, okay, then I should be using the surfaces for this one, this big cylinder, okay, and this could be, let's say, metal, okay, and it's getting a little messy. Sorry about that. Okay, and I can use some other surfaces, let's say, for the discs. And now this is brilliant. So I have my object, but what can I control when I want to use this object? Basically, when I have these nodes, okay, I can choose to create a parameter, and let's say this is going to be what I want. This is what I want to see on the interface. Okay, so let's say the post surface. I'll also do here with this one. So this one is going to be this surface. Okay, and let's say I'm just going to do this. So number of disks. Okay, so and this one should also be created. Okay, let's say I just created now a few parameters. I'll click OK. I'm just going to save my object, power. Okay, and once I'm done with this, then this element is going to be available in my embedded library as an object. So let's just place this. Okay, here's the object. Okay, you can see in 3D it is there, what we created. Okay, and if I open the settings, then basically you can see that these are also the parameters that I added. So I don't know, if I just change these here, then you will see that it is going to update as well. Or if I do a change to my overall height, then you can see that this one is a fully parametric thing. And I think what is the great advantage here is that I know that the visual scripting is also not for everyone. But if you already know Rhino and Grasshopper, then this is a great advantage, because actually these objects, okay, if you take a look at the script of these objects, if you wanted to do this with GDL scripting, then you would have to deal with this. Okay, so I think if you just take a look at these two options, having a script like this, or doing the visual scripting, then I'm pretty sure that everyone would choose the visual scripting. So I think this is, again, a huge opportunity to create some custom objects. And let me just go back to my presentation. Okay, presentation slides. Okay, so I'm back to this. So basically, this is what I wanted to show you just quickly in a few minutes, that how easy it is to build something. Of course, you need to know the basics of how to put and how to handle the data, but it's much easier than scripting. And basically, from this, we went to this one. I think it's pretty obvious what we would like to choose up next. Okay, so I really urge you, just like I did with the Bimcloud SaaS, the Bimcloud as a service, to download and try, because on graphisoft.com/downloads, we have two pages. There is a Paramo page and there is a Python page. Okay, so if you go to downloads/Paramo, then you can download the add-on. It's free. It's completely free. Okay, and you can start building your objects. You will find reference guides as well. And if you go to graphisoft.com downloads/Python, then you will also find sample scripts and sample files where you can right away test the capabilities of this tool. Okay, and yes, I think with this, I just come to the end of my presentation. I hope you liked it. So we will be back later. I will just hand back the mic to our MC. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandors.
Oke, mungkin ada yang mau saya tambahkan sedikit ya Pak Bima ya dari.
Oke, silakan Pak Rudi.
Okay, maybe I will add a little bit from your section, Sander. Your about the yearly upgrades, the subscription. Am I right?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, I will talk in bahasa so everyone easily understand. Oke, jadi untuk ArchiCAD, untuk subscription, teman-teman bisa mendapatkan sudah termasuk technical support dari kami, lalu tambahan konten ArchiCAD, ada juga free 5 GB storage di BIMX, lalu juga include juga Twinmotion 2020, Twinmotion 2020 Plus, seperti itu. Lalu ada emergency license buat teman-teman yang mungkin sekarang ini mungkin karena kasusnya sedang COVID ya, lalu teman-teman bisa mendapatkan support dari kami, yaitu emergency license. Jadi bisa license itu ada backupnya, bisa dikerjakan di rumah, seperti itu ya. Ada juga akses untuk ke portal learning center-nya ArchiCAD, lalu juga additional discount untuk pengadaan berikutnya. Seperti itu dari saya. Mungkin bisa saya kembalikan ke Pak Bima lagi.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih. Terima kasih pada Pak Rudi atas penjelasannya, ya, sistem subscription-nya. Jadi sedikit saya komentar. What an improvement in ArchiCAD 24, yeah. Especially in Paramo, back in the days, I was created like object from pure from the GDL script, right? Mr. Sandor, maybe you remember.
Yeah, exactly. I know that we talked about those things as well when I was there, and you also tried saving as well. So basically, everyone tried to do their best, to try to create somehow an object. I remember. It's a common thing everywhere. That's the thing. So it's happening.
Yeah. So that's why I think this Paramo improvement is quite improvement in ArchiCAD 24. So let's try it.
Ya.
Oke. Sedikit lagi ya. Berikutnya, terima kasih atas presentasinya, demonya dari Pak Rudi, and thank you for Mr. Sandor for your presentation in Paramo. Maybe we are gonna have a few questions for it, but it's gonna be done in maybe second session. I don't know, right? Oke, ya. Berikutnya kita akan lanjut kepada satu demo lagi, yaitu dari Mr. Januar Arif. Bagaimana tim collaboration ini dilakukan, ya, dan selanjutnya akan dilanjutkan langsung oleh Mr. Sidik Wangsa Putra untuk demo kolaborasi antara ArchiCAD dan Solibri. Oke, kepada Pak Januar Arif, waktu dipersilakan.
Halo Mas Bima, sebentar ya. Sepertinya saya dapat info kalau kita ada break dulu ya, sepertinya.
Oh, oke.
Karena
Breaknya sekarang ya.
karena
Oke,
sepertinya waktunya agak mundur nih.
agak mundur. Oke. Baik, kalau begitu berarti kita lanjutkan kembali demo untuk collaboration dan antara Archicad sama Solibri itu setelah break sebentar ya. Untuk waktu breaknya berapa lama?
Sekitar 10 menit, Mas Bima. 10
Oke,
menit lagi
10
kita.
menit.
Iya.
Oke, so stay tune ya untuk para attendees 10 menit ke depan kita akan lanjut kepada demo Archicad Solibri dan collaboration team. Dan juga untuk para attendees ini sebenarnya untuk question itu sudah dibuka dari saat tadi Mr. Sander sama Pak Rudi Hayasi ini sudah melakukan presentasi. Silahkan bertanya sebanyak-banyaknya yang ingin ditanyakan soal presentasi Archicad tadi. Nanti untuk Q&A-nya bisa dibahas di sesi kedua setelah ini. Jadi dari sekarang kita akan rolling terus untuk Q&A-nya. Jika ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan sebaiknya langsung saja ditulis di kolom Q&A. Terima kasih. Kita akan kembali dalam 10 menit lagi.